This conference will now be recorded.
Can the gallery hear me as well, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, we're just gonna see if we can turn the polycom up a little bit, but we should be good.
Okay, I'll start. Good evening, everyone. We're here for a regular Wednesday council meeting. I'm going to do quick introductions, and then we will go through the regular motions, and then when we get to the public hearing section, I'll introduce how the public hearings will work for this evening. We're on a bit of a hybrid situation, as Deputy Mayor Pelletier said that most of us are at the Association of Manitoba Municipalities convention for the next few days, and Deputy Mayor Pelletier and the CEO Mitch Duval decided to stay behind. And again, I wanted to do this while we were recording. Congratulations on 20 years, Deputy Mayor Pelletier. It's not an easy feat, but you have a great partner in life, and I wish you guys another 400 years together. So,
thank you, sir.
well, okay, so we'll go through introductions. With us this evening online, we have Councillor Curtis Clayton.
Good evening, everyone. Hi.
We have Councillor Ron Mamchuk.
Good evening, everybody.
We have Councillor Janine Boulanger.
Evening.
We have myself, Mayor Chris Ewan, and then we have in person, we have Councillor Deputy Mayor Shane Pelletier.
Oh, yeah.
We have our CEO, Mitch Duval.
Over here.
And I believe Mr. CEO is our planning officer, Tanya Waddell, there as well. Yes? Okay, perfect. Okay, so without further ado, I will start the meeting. Item number 1, meeting call to... oh, sorry, just before we start, we're going to be doing everything. We're going to be voting online, so council will vote on their system, and then the CEO will be reading out the vote. So having said that, item 1, meeting call to order. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you. Please cast your vote.
Oh man, it doesn't want to work.
Yeah, my voting is not open. Please refresh your screens, council. That's here.
Mine worked, so it should work.
Okay, mine's working now. Thank you.
Mine is still not working. I'm in favor though, Mr. CEO.
Okay, the vote is therefore carried 5-0.
Okay, perfect. I'll open the meeting at 7:03 p.m. Item 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Pelletier.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Boulanger.
Thank you. No changes or additions. Council, do you have anything to add?
Not here.
Not here.
Okay, please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Item 3, adoption of the minutes. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Boulanger.
Thank you.
Last regular council meeting of April 5th, whereby we passed 2 readings regarding bylaw for municipal resources when it comes down to election purposes. 2 development agreements was also passed, and a resolution regarding supporting the OMBM, that's the Association of Manitoba Bilingual Municipalities, was also passed. We also had a special meeting on April 13th. Basically, the gist of that meeting was just to increase the campaign finance allowances for council members or people wishing to run in the upcoming election. Council gave that first and second reading. So 3rd reading for that bylaw and the municipal resources bylaw is on the agenda for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. Council, I'll open it up for discussion. Do you have anything to add or any changes?
Not here.
Seeing none, I will call for the question. Please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4.1, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you.
2 batches to be paid. The first one is 15,931 in the amount of $1,000 plus change. That's regarding some first aid training and a Stay Safe course. The second is batch 15928 in the amount of $77,100 and change. The big ticket items in that batch are basically TransEnergy energy building. We put in some automated doors for the cost of $4,200. Fuel, as we all know, has increased dramatically, so we had a $12,000 touch for fuel throughout the month. Also, we spent $4,400 on our Connect license, which is our software to promote communications with residents, as well as the St. Rosa Watershed District, the annual levy of $15,000. The rest are all below the $4,000 mark, so I will not comment, but entertain questions.
Thank you, Mr. Seal. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have any questions or any discussion?
Not here.
Not here.
Please cast your vote.
The vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you. Item 4.2.1, staff payroll number 7, March 27th to April 9th, 2022. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Pelletier.
Thank you.
Staff payroll number 7, March 27th to April 9th. Basically, storms and snowfall, we've had some overtime on public works. Other than that, if it would have been a nice spring, things would have been quiet. Other than that, nothing else to report.
Thank you very much. Council, do you have anything to add? Any discussion?
Not here.
No, I'll call for the question. Cast your vote, please.
Carried 5-0.
Thank you. Item 4.3, signing authority. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Belanger.
Second.
Councillor Clayton?
You.
As a result of hiring a new chief financial officer, we need to do some changes at the banks and cases and wherever else we need to do changes. So this resolution is to authorize signature changes from our previous CFO to the newly hired Mohamed Zaman as our chief financial officer.
Perfect. Council, do you have any comments or questions?
Not here.
No?
To the team.
Awesome. Yeah, Chief Financial Officer Mohamed Zaman, welcome to the team, and we look forward to working with you. Council, please cast your vote.
It was carried 5-0.
Thank you, Kate. We'll move on to the public hearing section. So again, this is a little bit new to us because we have a few more people in the council chambers than we've had during these last 3 years of online formats. So we're in a hybrid model. The way it will work is I do ask to limit your delegation or your speaking points to a maximum of 10 minutes, and I will abruptly cut you off. I'll give you 1 minute warning, and then I will cut you off. That's how harsh I am. And then we will also, I will also be waiting for the deputy mayor to be waving you to the front. And then I just ask you, once you sit down in your space, just to say your name when you do come up for record. I will be going on asking if there's anyone that wishes to speak online first. At that time, I do ask that you turn on your camera and turn on your microphone. And then once you're done speaking, wait a few seconds in case council does have some questions. It is only for council at that time to ask the questions. And then if someone else would like to speak after, so on and so forth, we'll do that. And then we'll go into in-person speaking. So you'll do your delegation there, you'll go up to the front, and then that'll be in favor. And then we'll go on to the against, online and in person, exact same format. Please keep it to 10 minutes. I also will be not listening to repetitive points in case anyone, heard something previously that's the exact same position that they feel and have. Great, we appreciate that, but we just ask you to come up and say, I agree with the previous comments, and just to inform. We have limited time here. We have quite a few public hearings, so we just ask to be respectful of time for everyone. I believe I've said everything. We will start with, 5.1.1 V7 2022 Jervis Voidovich 828 Red River Drive.
The proposal is to vary the required site area for an agricultural lot from 80 acres to 56.53 plus or minus acres as a result of a condition of the subdivision file 4165-21-8028. According to the Planning Act, notices were sent out to surrounding properties and posted on the municipal board website and sent out as a connect reminder yesterday, I believe. So that was all done.
Perfect, thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:11 p.m. Before I start, I also wanted to point out that if you're there for a certain point or public hearing, after it's done, do not feel you need to stay for the whole time. You're more than welcome to, but you are free to leave right after you've made your case and the public hearing has closed. But by all means, stay if you wish. Having said that, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor online or on the phone? Anyone wishing to speak in favor in person?
Donna, we'll get you up front.
I didn't hear most of that, Deputy Mayor, so yeah, if you could just, once you're sitting down and do an introduction, that would be great.
Okay, my name is Donna Wojtowicz-Jervis, and I'm just here representing the request for the variance. And I know that there was a recommendation that it be approved. We satisfied all the requirements of us in terms of the dedication fee, et cetera. So I wonder if you have any questions for me on behalf of our request?
Yeah, absolutely. I do appreciate that. Council, do you have any questions for, I believe it's Ms. Wojtowicz?
Donna Wojtowicz-Jervis.
Donna Wojtowicz, sorry, I apologize. Do you have any questions for?
The first time the name.
Yes, I have a question. Hi, it's Janine Belanger here. I'm just looking at your map and the way it's obviously it looks like there's a natural division between the two properties. So that's what's leading you to the smaller lot, right?
Correct. The 75 highway divides the lot, and so the home is on the very small portion attached to some land or is bush, and then we have the grain, the land on the other side of the 75 highway. So,
And that's only the 56 acres on the other side of the highway.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're not going to be farming any longer. So that's our hope, to have that divided, and hoping if things work out well, we'll be able to have it continue to farm through a neighbor. So.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Council, any other questions?
Nothing here.
Nothing here.
Perfect. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in person? In favor? Was there anything received in favor?
Nothing received?
Thank you. Is there anyone online wishing to speak against? Is there anyone on the phone wishing to speak against? Anyone in person wishing to speak against? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
I will give it one last call. Anyone online, in person, on the phone, wishing to speak in favor, against, or any general comments or questions they may have? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:15 p.m. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Second?
Councillor Belanger.
You.
Therefore, be resolved that variation application V7-2022 be approved.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. I'll open it up for council discussion. Council, do you have any comments or debate on this?
Not here.
Not here.
No?
I'm just wondering, I guess there's no conditions that we need to put on this. Usually we have some conditions, but not on the variation, eh? Okay. None needed.
No? Okay,
Nothing that we think of at this time.
perfect. Okay, I will call for the question. Please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 5.1.2. This is a two-parter. We're looking at V8 2022 Weens 1395B Lascaux Road, as well as C8 Weens 1395B Lascaux Road, item 5.23. We're going to do one public hearing for both, but there'll be, I believe, 2 votes on this, correct, Mr. CEO?
That is correct.
Yes. So you take it away.
All right, in regards to variation, V8 2022 at 1395B Lascaux Road, the variation is to vary the required site area for a specialized agricultural operations from 10 acres to 8.6 acres. And the conditional use is in regarding to allow the proposal to allow a specialized agricultural business consisting of a market garden vegetable production in a AL agricultural limited zone as a condition of the subdivision file number 4165-21-8026. Notices were sent out according to the Planning Act, as well as posted on the municipal board, municipal website, also posted at the case in St. Adolphe and the SO in St. Adolphe.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:18 p.m. for both the variation and the conditional use. Is there anyone online wishing to speak in favor?
Yeah, this is Dan Weens, the applicant, and I'm obviously in favor of these requests, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Weens. I appreciate that. Council, do you have any questions or concerns or general comments for Mr. Weens while he's with us?
Not here.
Yeah, I have a question. First of all, I think it's a really great idea with the market garden, the vegetables. I know there's a concern about the volume of people coming to and from the site. So I was just wondering if you could elaborate on the operation. And forgive me, this is the right time to ask this question. We're having one public hearing. That's correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chad, who's the actual farmer, is in attendance there, so he can speak up too. But my answer to that question is Chad has 1 or 2 employees that come to do the weeding and the watering and the general gardening, and that's about it. There's no to and fro in terms of customers, because the vegetables are all marketed off-site
Okay.
at St. Norbert and some stores in the city and so on. So very little traffic, in other words.
Perfect. I appreciate the presentation. Anything else, Councillor Belanger?
No, that was my concern, so that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from council wishing to ask a question?
Not here.
No. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Weens. I appreciate your time. Is there anyone else online wishing to speak in favor, or on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in person wishing to speak in favor?
I'm here as well. That was my dad talking, so I can answer any other questions if need, but I think he covered.
Perfect. Okay, that was Chad Weens, I believe.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, with council, did you have any further questions before we move on? No? Okay, I appreciate that. Anyone else in person wishing to speak in favor? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Is there anyone, pardon me, is there anyone online wishing to speak against? Anyone on the phone wishing to speak against? Anyone in person wishing to speak against?
Yeah, Montu?
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't really hear that.
Yeah, she's making her way to the front.
Okay.
My name is Sheila Antoniak. I'm a neighbor bordering the property. And I've talked with Mitch and Tanya, and we have concerns. And I don't know if you've seen the subdivision proposal, how the lot will be split. But the existing farm operation right now, which has run for years and is fine, is on more than 10 acres already. So I don't understand why they're subdividing it and getting a special permit or variation or whatever you call it, special favors to make it smaller when the current operation is already over the 10 and has been running like that just fine. The subdivision of the lots into lot 1 surrounding the house that's existing and the greenhouses and outbuildings and whatever else is there. And then the garden area is being hooked to River Lot 218 in the subdivision proposal, which makes it less than 10 acres and needs special permission, and also opens it up into Lot 218, which borders it directly around our home. And I'm not sure what the future expansion will be, or it could be, and although, you know, I wish the Weens the best in their endeavors, and I'm very concerned of the market value of our home. When we have a potential intensive commercial operation surrounding the border of our home, which means directly at the bottom of my hill will be, well, not the cost, but you know what I mean. We have seen in the past on the existing operation that, you know, at certain times, planting, harvest, whatnot, there are a fair few people that attend the farm and help out. Where they get their workers or how they operate, none of my business. And like I say, it's back by the river there, it's fine, but right beside my property, it makes me very nervous. And talking with Chad, there was really no intentions right now or in the near future to actually expand and plant on the 218. So I was looking for consideration from the council to approve the request for them to have the specialized garden permit on the 217 and consider that all lot 1 and have lot 218, lot 2, the 218 portion maybe up for variation at some future time. And we definitely are very nervous that, I mean, it's not encroaching, that's not the right word, but it will definitely be bordering our property on 2 sides. And that's a little too close for comfort. And the existing operation, like I say, I don't know, I had it mapped out, I have a copy I can leave, that to the best of my mathematical skills from the information that was fully provided, that the operation could exist on the 217 lot. I'll leave that with you. And for now, and you would be okay with that. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Before you leave, sorry, did anyone from council have any questions for the delegate?
Yeah, I missed it. What was the address of the delegate or the lot number?
218. We're the St. Mary's side of 218.
Okay.
And the rest of the remaining property is beside and directly behind us. Directly beside and directly behind. The 217 property is to the north on the other side of the tree line.
Thank you.
The specific address for the person speaking is 1228 PR 200.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. No other questions for now. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak against in person? Anything received against?
We received an email from the person who just spoke previously, Mrs. Sheila Antoniuk. Council all have a copy of that letter on their computer to read. Ms. Antoniuk, do you want me to read that letter out loud, or is that sufficient?
If everybody's read it, then it is what it is.
Okay, it's your call, Mr. Mayor.
I'm just reviewing. Give me 3 seconds here. I believe the same statements were made from what I see here. So if council's okay with it, we will just have it as information for our review and not to be read out loud.
Fine with me.
Okay, thank you.
No other letters received.
Thank you. Okay. I will go around again, one final call. Anyone online, in person, or on the phone wishing to make any comments that pertain maybe to the last delegation, or just general statements they might want to clarify? Any in favor or against positions that they'd like to come forward with now? Last call.
May I?
Yeah, this is,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
sorry, go
Um,
My name. Sorry, Mr. Weens. I actually did hear. I believe it was Mariana Rodriguez first. I will let her make a call.
Well, Mariana is my wife. My name is Josh. My name is Josh Weens.
Okay,
I
sorry.
just want to speak also in favor of this.
Okay, I appreciate that. Dan, I believe you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to lay the concerns that were expressed by the delegate. There are no plans to do anything on River Lot 218, which isn't really a legal description anymore, but what used to be River Lot 218. There are no plans to do anything there in terms of the market garden operation. And as I understand things, this application for conditional use is for the farm operation that's been going for a long time already. So if it were to be denied now, then I understand Chad wouldn't be able to farm here, which would be a real tragedy.
No, I appreciate the follow-up on that. Council, did you have any questions?
I'm just still a little fuzzy on the actual division of lot 217. So has it always been 8.6 acres and we're just cleaning up some paperwork, or is it the big lot that we see there and it's being divided so that there's 8.6 acres for the agriculture part?
Did you want me to speak to that?
Sure, if you can, or if Mr. CEO wanted to clarify first, it's let's go with you, Mr. Weens. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 8.6 is new, hived off of the original roughly 30 acres, and that application we made a while ago, which has been conditionally approved, which is to provide 8.6 acres on the area where our house is located, so my wife and I can retire here while our son continues to farm. So it was under the provision of, I don't know what it's called, but retiring farmers having a place to live.
Okay, so I guess my question would be, so why 8.6 and why not 10? Could you not make 10 of that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. No, it just happens that the natural bush line to the south is the proposed property line, and then there's a natural ditch that runs north-south, which is the proposed eastern property line. To the west is the stream, which is, and to the north is the road. So it's just sort of a geographic.
Right. So what are the plans for the, not that it matters, but you'll still own the eastern side of the lot, is that correct?
You mean lot 2?
The one on the other side, on the east side of the drainage ditch.
Right. Yes, we'll continue to own that until such time our sons can organize themselves to purchase it.
Okay. Okay. I think I've got it clear now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Council, any other questions of clarification or general comments? No. Okay, I appreciate that. I will close the public, and I'll give it one last call. Does anyone else want to make any final comments online, in person, or on the phone?
Could I make another comment, please?
Yeah, come forward.
And I think, I really believe it wasn't until this morning that I received the notifications of the dividing line and how to look at it. And the variation for the specialty farm on lot 1 is the house and the greenhouses. And the new garden is on the existing property, and there's 15 acres there, over 15 acres. But they chose to subdivide the property with 218 and the new garden. So that gives them a blanket variation to do market gardening and special stuff all along the 218. And when I did talk to Chad, he said, we have no intentions of doing that. Well, then why don't you just subdivide that 15 acres accordingly and get all your permits and have a wonderful business? And if it is truly successful, and I hope it is, then they can look at moving on to the 218 side or whatever you want to call it now. The subdivision of lot 1 and lot 2 is more to divide off the home. And again, I have no problem with that. We need a place to live too. But it opens any opportunity for 218 to be accessible for specialty farming. And that'll be right around our property. And if we sell, I just don't think it'll be worth what it is right now. And it took a long time to get that information from the RM, which is unfortunate with eastern snowstorms and communication and everything else. But when I really took a look at the numbers today, there is over 15 acres on that side and over 15 acres on our side. And now Dan and Chad both said they're not doing anything on the 218 right now. So why do they need a special permit? I don't understand. When they would be sufficient on the other side. Sorry.
Hey, no, I appreciate the comments. I had a little bit of a hard time hearing. Mr. Seal, when was the information notifications for this sent out, just to clarify?
The initial notice was sent out on March 31st. So everybody within the area would have got the notice. But I believe Ms. Antoniuk has been going back and forth with the office trying to get clarifications on the property. And we've been responding as quickly as we can, given the circumstances of snowstorms and Easter and vacations, not quite vacations, but our planner was out in Alberta on a conference.
Okay, no, I just wanted to clarify, just to make sure that we were at best to your ability as administration. Council, did you have any other questions? Go ahead, Councillor Belanger.
Yes, just one other question to the applicant, I guess. What would it mean to, I know there's a natural drain there and it makes sense to put the lot there, but would it mean anything to you to make it 10 acres by moving that lot line over? I don't know how much you'd have to.
I'm not sure how that would change or address the concerns that have been raised. I mean, right now, the way the subdivision the proposal has been put forward, the lot 2, where eventually Chad would be gardening, includes part of River Lot 217, which is the only part of the lot that's readily accessible to the road, to any kind of road, because we can't do a road off of St. Mary's. So changing the application, the subdivision application to divide cleanly along the old River Lot 217-18 would actually increase the possibility of down the road of agriculture being done on River Lot 218. So I don't quite understand the rationale for suggesting we change the application for subdivision.
What's the remaining acreage on, I guess, lot 1? No, lot 2? I don't see where lot 2 is.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it's something like 22 acres in total.
Just under 23, Councilor Belanger, 2298.
Yeah, no, okay, I see now. It's in a kind of inverted T, right?
Yeah, that's an odd shaped lot.
I got it. Okay.
Perfect. Anything else from council? Okay, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Mrs. Antoniuk. We will close the public hearing.
Mr. Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
Chad,
Thank you for your time, everybody, as well. And I just wanted to reiterate what my dad said. The application for the specialty market garden, I think is what it is something that I'm currently already doing. And I realize that it is our mistake that we did not put this application in several years ago. So I apologize for that. And I think it seems that some of the confusion is coming from this new application, which is not an application for doing anything new at all. I currently have one greenhouse and a unheated greenhouse on River Lot 217 and have no plan at all to move my operation over to the other lot. It wouldn't make any economic sense for me to move my equipment over there at all. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And I think my father also submitted a map with indicating where I do want to expand some of the gardening, but that exists not on the land bordering the Antoniaks at all. It exists on River Lot 217. So if that helps to clarify things.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearings now at 7:38 p.m. Do I have a mover?
Councilor
Councilor
Mamchuk.
Belanger?
Councilor Mamchuk moves, I believe, second by Councilor Mamchuk.
And we are dealing with variation 8, 2022, 5.1.2.
To start, yes.
Okay, so for that, plain and simple, that therefore be resolved that variation application V8 2022 be approved.
Thank you. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have any debate on this? Any comments?
Not here.
No issues here.
No, I fully understand it now, so it's all good. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll get you to cast your vote, please.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. We will move to 5.2.3 now, C8 2022. 1395B Lasco Road. So this is the conditional use portion. Do I have a mover?
Councilor Mamchuk.
Councilor Clayton moves, second by Councilor Mamchuk.
Therefore be resolved that conditional use application C8 2022 to allow a specialized agricultural subject to the following conditions. Number 1, the applicant shall ensure that this use is not noxious, offensive, or hazardous by reason of emissions or production of odor, dust, refuse matter, waste, vapor, gas, smoke, vibration, or noise, and that this use shall not create a nuisance beyond the property's sightline. 2, the applicant shall obtain appropriate building permits for any proposed construction from the municipal reach out office. 3, any future expansion of the current business, i.e. additional gardens, greenhouses, buildings in the southern portion on proposed lot 2 will require a new conditional use application approval. 3, any construction of the accessory buildings shall not affect drainage on the neighboring properties. 5, applicant shall not cause generation of undue traffic and congestion in the neighborhood. 6, any outdoor lighting must be located, arranged, or shielded so that no light is directed at any neighboring property or roadway. 7, any signage shall comply with the municipal zone and bylaw 9-2019, section 11. And 8, that the applicant shall provide a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance issues may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Thank you very much. I'll open this up for council discussion and debate. Council, do you have any comments on this conditional use?
Nope.
No clarification. We're understanding this. Perfect. Okay, I will get you to cast your vote now.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 5.1.3 V9 2022 Philip 2399 Andrew Chuck Road.
The proposal is to vary the required site area of a residential agricultural lot from subdivision file 4165-2022-8117 from 80 acres to 18.16 acres. The notifications were sent out to surrounding on site, as well as the municipal office and municipal website, and a connect reminder message was sent out.
Thank you very much. I'll open up the public hearing at 7:42 p.m. Is there anyone online wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Is there anyone in person wishing to speak in favor? Anything received?
Hang on, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, sorry. It's
Yeah, have a seat there, Mr. President.
Yeah, okay, I'll make that short. I just want to, I missed the last meeting, and my daughter took my place, and so I missed my chance to come back here. Past, it's been a nice place to work. But anyways, I just want to thank you folks, okay, for your decision. And I guess that's all I have to say then. Thank you.
perfect. Council, did you have any questions for the delegate?
Not here.
Not here, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Is there anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak against? Anyone in person wishing to speak against? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
Okay, one last call. Final comments, anyone online, on the phone, in person wishing to speak in favor, against, general questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:44 p.m. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk?
Thank you. Second.
Councilor Clayton.
Councillor Pelche, thank you.
V9 2022, therefore be resolved that variation application V9 2022 be approved.
Thank you. I'll open up for council debate. Council, any comments or debate or discussion on this?
Not here.
Not here, thank you.
No, please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Moving into the conditional use applications portions, 5.2.1, C6 2022, Sherwood 509 PR 247.
The proposal is to allow a single-family dwelling in a agricultural AL limited zone and allow an existing 768 plus or minus square foot garden suite. Notices were sent out according to the Planning Act, posted on site, as well as the municipal office and municipal website, and then connected message was sent out.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:45 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor online or on the phone?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Mr. Musso.
Hello. I just wanted to say I'm in favor. I have no objection.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's everything from you, Mr. Musso?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, no, I appreciate that. Anyone else online or on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in person wishing to speak in favor?
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Mayor and Council. My name is Guy Sherwood. I'm here to answer any questions you may have regarding this application. I'm here with my wife, Faith, and my son, Patrick, as well. So I await your questions. If you have any.
Thank you very much. Council, do you have any comments or questions for the delegate?
Not here.
I think we're good. Thank you very much for attending the meeting. Anyone else in person wishing to speak in favor? Nope. Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Thank you. Anyone online or on the phone wishing to speak against? Anyone in person wishing to speak against? Anything received against? Nothing?
Sorry, nothing.
Okay.
I blanked out.
I'll give it one final call online, on the phone, in person. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, against, or make general comments or have any questions? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:48 p.m. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you.
Therefore, be it resolved that conditional use application C6-2022 is approved subject to the following conditions: that the applicant obtains a building permit from the RM office. 2, submitted plans are to be included in detailed architectural drawings stamped by an engineer. 3, that the applicant is to apply for and obtain a septic permit from the province. 4, applicant must follow all regulations regarding Manitoba Conservation and Climate regarding a new and existing septic system. 5, that the applicant is responsible for all associated costs pertaining to a water system. 6, that the site plan is to include setbacks in compliance with table 10-2 of the zoning bylaw. 7, that the applicant is to obtain an approved variation for the garden suite to vary the maximum size to 768 square feet with a basement. 8, if the garden suite ceases to be occupied by a relative of the property owner, it is to be removed within 3 months of the date of such occupancy ceases. 9, that the drainage shall not affect neighboring properties. And 10, that the applicant must sign a confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and any non-compliance issues may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have any debate, any comments or questions to make?
Just a comment about, we tossed this back and forth a few times. It's a little unique, but that's what conditional uses are for the unique situations. But I think we all agreed by putting that clause in the conditions about after it's no longer a family there, that the existing building be removed, then I think I'm okay with that.
I appreciate that. Councillor Belanger, anyone else on council?
I believe the applicant may have comments or questions regarding this, Mr. Mayor.
Generally, we don't allow them, but we seem to be making good time. So if he wanted to make a statement, he's more than welcome to right now.
Thank you, Guy Sherwood, once again, owner. I don't quite understand the 3 months. If my son moves out and 3 months later I have to tear the building down, is that correct? Or remove the house from the property? Is that how I understand it?
The purpose of a garden suite or secondary suite is meant for immediate family. Right. So if ever you would have to move out, either family member would have to be in that location. Otherwise, it then becomes non-compliance as a second home on the property. It could be rented out to somebody else, and that's not allowed under our bylaws.
I see. What happens if my son moves out for 6 months or a year, pursues a job opportunity somewhere, and decides to come back and live on the family farm? This is a family farm of 3 generations.
I guess my recommendation at that point would be to submit something to council to reconsider what is on the table right now.
Okay.
And have them make a decision at that point in time.
You know,
if that sounds fair to council.
Yeah, that makes sense, Mr. Chair. Almost like a leave of absence from the property or something. That seems totally fair.
Yeah, because I have a difficult time understanding why knock down this building in 3 months, given the nature of people these days that come and go and pursue opportunities. It is, I assure the council, this is a family farm. I call it a family farm, but it's been in the family many years. And in the past, it had another house on that property, my grandfather's house, which was knocked down because we had a tornado there many years ago. But it's true, we had a tornado, and it moved everything off 2 inches off the foundation. But at that time, the garden suite was there already, if you want to call it a garden suite. So there was 2 houses on that property, good old days, you could say. And since I bought the property, you know, it's quite a unique property. As you can see, it has a funny shape to it. Yeah, so I would like to see clarification, and I'm concerned that if my son does decide to pursue an opportunity, that the ability for him to move back to the farm would be sort of quite hampered. I would be more than happy not to lease out or rent out the garden suite to anybody except family.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I think we've determined that it'll be, as we've done before, almost a case-by-case basis where you would submit a request or just a notice that your son's gone and there's an opportunity to come back, and then we would review it as council at a later time. But unfortunately, this is what council it's continuing to decide on for garden suites. We just don't cohesively and collectively, we don't like the idea of an opportunity for an illegal rental. And we're not saying that's what you're doing, but we have seen that in the past. And this just cleans it up and guarantees that not only are we safe as a municipality, but you're being protected as well from any issues that the illegal suites could happen. So I think this is quite a fair negotiation between us. You're giving an opportunity later on if you did need to write us a letter, and we are by any means as administration and council later on to review it with no problem.
Thank you, appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, council, any further comments before I call for the vote?
Not here.
Perfect. Kate Castro.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. I'll just give a 30-second break. Is there anyone that is needing to leave the room that feels like they have to stay? I feel guilty taking up your evening. Mr. CEO. Okay, we'll see everyone later. No, I'm just kidding. Did council need a 30 or 2-minute break while everyone's making their way out?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, let's do a 2-minute break, please. I guess pause recording or just turn off your cameras and mics, council.
Yeah, stop recording and then we'll come back.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I appreciate the people waiting and the pause we had. We will continue the council meeting at 7:59 p.m. We are on public hearings 5.2.2 C7 2022 J&N Holdings Ltd 420 Main Street, St. Adolphe.
The proposal is to allow a multifamily dwelling consisting of 30 rental units in a residential general 8,000 RG8 zone. Notices were sent out to surrounding properties, municipal board, municipal website, also at the St. Adolph Case and ESSO, and the connect message was sent out.
Thank you. I will open the public hearing at 8 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor online? Anyone on the phone wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in person wishing to speak in favor?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Hi there. I'm Keith Unger, and I work with JN Holdings, and I've also worked with Ken Tellaire, the previous owner, and his other partner. The plans that you see here are very similar to what was approved in January 23rd of 2019. There was conditional use that was approved for 30 doors, or 30 units. I read through that approval there. It looks like there was some discussion about lighting, which we would, of course, want to comply with whatever was said there. There's plenty of parking here. Many jurisdictions are at 1.5 for parking, 1.5 stalls, plus 10%. I think what I'm reading is 2 plus 10%, which is great. That's probably the biggest issue that is probably comes of something like this, and what I'm counting in this plan is about 94 stalls. So that's more than enough, and so that gives us lots of flexibility. I know, Tanya? Yeah, so Tanya suggested that we make sure that we have 3 accessible stalls, which I can already see where that will fit. And there were some other suggestions with regards to what was the last parking? I think that's it, right? The 3
parking,
yeah.
For the accessible stalls.
Yeah. We looked at the front portion of this property. At one point, we looked at doing an apartment block, maybe, and that didn't feel like it would be congruent with the seniors style housing at the back, which is in very high demand. There was in Mr. Teller's plan in the previous one, there was a 1-story of approximately 590 square foot unit at the front. We went to go look at what that unit looks like and what the type of tenant is that's attracted to it. And we just didn't feel that tenant was, again, congruent with the tenant of the larger bungalow style garage unit at the back. We like the idea of the 2-story, creating a bit of a buffer for the noisier traffic on Main Street from kind of the nicer bungalow style units at the back. And yeah, there's a big demand for units like this, townhome units. It's very hard to find land that works for townhome units. So many developers are building apartment style. The benefit of this is you do get a bit of a backyard for maybe some gardening or something like that in the future. It just creates a good transition for aging adults if they're moving out of homes or that sort of thing. It's a much more popular a way to go than, let's say, even a condo at this point.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Council, do you have any questions for the delegate?
I just got a quick question. Oh,
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, regarding the, you've got the 16-plex and the 7-plex. Has the owner made any decision as to what, how he's going to phase in those projects? Like what order we'll see the construction at?
Yeah, sorry, John's here as well. John Cook with JN Holdings. Would you be doing the whole project at one time?
We'll start from the first the 2 7-plexes,
okay.
Work our way down to the
construction.
We'll try to do it in 1 year.
Yeah.
Depends on goals, what issues we confront. The first 2 7-plexes have moved the way down right away to at least 16 plexes. faster the better it is, right?
Yeah.
Less expensive.
I think it just, yeah, they want to do the whole project in one. However, I think it just looks, the biggest thing is how will construction work? You don't want to necessarily create congestion in one part of the site as you're filling up the other part of it. So I think, yeah, like the idea would be to build it out within a 12-month period.
Okay, so everything within a 1 year. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
And the townhouses are going to be 2 stories, right, gentlemen?
Yes.
With a full basement, right?
No crawl space.
No crawl space on the 2-story, and as well as the bungalow.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else from council? Go ahead, Councillor Belanger.
Yeah, this is obviously preliminary, laying out the lots and that. So I'm assuming once we get further into the details, there'll be some nice landscaping and beautifying of the whole area, like especially on Main Street. Do you have some preliminary plans that you can share or ideas?
Do you guys have any minimum requirements for that? Like in some of the RMs, X number of trees, X number of shrubs, anything like that?
I think those details would come into the development agreement.
Okay.
That would be signed afterwards.
Yeah.
That is the conditional use.
Yeah, yeah. Past projects, I can say like, John's worked with us in St. Anne. We're looking at something in Oak Bank. The projects have all looked very good. I think we can work together on that to decide what you'd like to see there. And of course, I don't know if you've ever been on that bus at a Mexican resort and you pull up to the one with the nicer entrance and you're like, please be the one. And then they drop off everybody else but not you, and then you keep going. That entrance sometimes is even more important than the room that you're going to sleep in. So the first impression is very important.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was looking for. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Belanger. I want to also reiterate that the town is very passionate about that space. Councillor Mamchuk can attest to this. There is a very significant, it's called the Miracle Room that happened there, but there's also a fountain in the front. Right. The fountain means a lot to the town. And yes, it's in a condemned state now, but I think some sort of heritage or significant marking that could be worked into the project would be greatly appreciated if it was passed. And I think you would have a lot of optimism and opportunity with the residents in the town of St. Adolphe if you kept that in mind. That's just my opinion personally. I don't know what the rest of council believes with that, but
I believe that very much, because with a couple of residents I spoke to, that was one of the first questions. They said, is that fountain going to be refurbished? And I says, yes, that's going to be part of the development agreement. So we have to stick with that for sure.
Yeah. So, and again, I agree with you, Councilor Mamchuk. It might not be a refurbishment of the fountain, but if there's if there's any opportunity to signify what that site used to be, it would be a huge benefit to the heritage of Richot for sure.
Was there a name for the fountain?
Sorry, say that again.
Was there a name for the fountain that the locals would know?
Oh, you know what? I'm sure we could figure that all out. I think there's a group of historians actually, and including the nuns that used to be there, that can definitely help with the information. And I think Councillor Mamchuk, even myself, have their contact, so we can be in touch after. But just something to consider.
I'm just quickly, I wouldn't mind incorporating that and naming the site, so the apartments are named. Like we could work with the name fountain or the whatever.
Great idea. I appreciate. That's a great idea.
Thank you very much.
I believe it was called Mayor Ewan Villa.
Waiting for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor in person? No. Is there anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Is there anyone wishing to speak against online or on the phone? Anyone wishing to speak against in person? Anything received against?
Nothing received against?
One last call, online, in person, on the phone. Anyone wishing to speak in favor, against, make general comments, or have any questions and concerns? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 8:09 p.m. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you. Second?
Councillor Belanger.
You.
Therefore be resolved that conditional use application C7-2022 is approved with the following conditions. That the applicant enters into a development agreement with municipality. 2, plans for elevations, drainage, construction of municipal services and infrastructure, landscaping, etc. are to be included and approved with the development agreement. 3, the applicant obtains a building permit from the municipal office for the townhouses units. 4, that the applicant shall provide copies of stamped engineer plans. 5, that parking on Main Street or municipal right-of-way by owners or tenants is strictly prohibited. 6, that parking shall comply with municipal zoning bylaw 9-2019, section 3.21. 7, if yard lighting is to be used, the applicant shall ensure that lighting levels do not cause any disruption or nuisance to the neighboring areas or affected roadways. 8, the applicant shall provide a drainage plan prepared by an engineer certified surveyor. Drainage shall not affect adjacent properties. 9, the applicant shall provide a certified engineering building location certificate. 10, the applicant shall ensure that all proposed construction conforms to the Manitoba building codes, fire codes, health standards, labor laws, and any other municipal and/or provincial permits and approvals as may be required. 11, the applicant shall obtain all required permits and approvals from Manitoba Infrastructure and Transportation. Note the name change, it is now Manitoba Transportation and Infrastructure. 12, signage shall comply with municipal zoning bylaw 9-2019, section 11. And 13, the applicant shall provide a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and non-compliance issues may be caused to revoke the conditional use at any time.
Thank you, Mr. CEO. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, any comments or debate?
I'm looking forward for this project to get off the ground because it's long overdue, and I think it'll be actually a good fit for the community, especially the bungalows.
I appreciate that. Nothing else from council? Okay. Council, please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you very much. Moving on to 5.3.1 bylaw 4-2022 closed Juniper Bay and IDC. That's it.
Yes, as in regards to road closing, proper planning processes requires close the road allowance. Said road allowance will be transferred over to the adjacent land, and that is all I have. We could open the hearing.
Thank you. I'll open the hearing at 8:13 p.m. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person? We'll do this all at once.
It looks like it's me, Chris.
I unfortunately can't see. My screen is so small, I can't see who's there.
I'm sure I'll.
Okay. Go ahead.
The floor is yours, Mr. Vandermeer. Well, I guess we all know that we just want to properties, and if there's no other concerns, just go ahead and do this.
Okay, Len, I didn't realize it was you. Hello. Council, do you have any questions? Yeah, hey, do you have any questions for Mr. Vandermeer?
None here.
Not here.
Nope.
I think that's it. Thanks for waiting patiently, Len. I appreciate that.
Next time I'll be impatient.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That would be great for all of us. Is that the only one left in the council chambers?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Is there anyone wishing or anything received in favor?
Nothing received?
Anyone wishing to speak against online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
Thank you. One last call, online, in person, on the phone, in favor, against. Any general comments or questions? No, I'll close the public hearing at 8:15 PM. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Pelletier.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys are skipping orders on the agenda, but that's okay. We are at 6.2 regarding this item. This is second reading to the bylaw regarding closing Juniper Lane.
Oh, I read that wrong. I apologize.
We're not on 531?
Yeah,
There's no resolution, it's the bylaw to close. So it'd be second reading and third reading.
Oh, I thought we had to, okay. I apologize. My immaturity as your mayor has just fouled us. I'm sorry. Okay, so we are on 6.2?
Correct.
Okay, we're moving to 6.2. Council's okay with that? Council, any discussion?
Not here.
Okay, let's cast our vote.
Cast your vote on the 6.2.
Two.
Okay, thank you.
The vote is carried 5-0.
Okay, now I'm going back to 6.1, Mr. CEO.
No, go to 6.3, please.
6.3, bylaw 4, 2022, closed Juniper Bay and IDC third reading. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Pelletier.
You. Final call for council questions, debate. Seeing none, call for the vote.
The vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you very much. And just for clarification, Mr. CEO, there was a voting is open on 5.3.1, so I hope I'm not the only confused one here of what just happened. But that's okay. No, okay. Item 6.1, bylaw 3, 2022, use of municipal resources, third reading. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Clayton.
Okay, second.
Councillor Blanchet.
You.
As discussed previously, this is third reading regarding the elections and use of municipal resources. We are going to implement the Provincial Offences Act if there's a non-compliance to the bylaw. That helps alleviate any pressures from staff in order to enforce this bylaw.
Thank you. Council, any open up for discussion, any debate or discussion comments? No, discussion.
We're discussing 6.4, am I correct?
6.1.
Okay, sorry, sir. Okay, got you. Okay, what are we waiting here for?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Oh, am I supposed to vote? Yeah, I'm okay. Just hang on here. 6.1, just hang on. Sorry about that, Mr. CEO.
Are you in favor, Councillor Mamchuk?
Yeah, I'm in favor.
Okay.
Sorry about that,
Vote
folks.
Carried 5-0.
Thank you. 6.4, bylaw 5, 2022, campaign expenses and contributions, third reading. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Pelletier.
Thank you.
This is in regards to what the candidates spend in regards to the campaigning. We've upped the limits for the head of council to 7,500 and for council members to 3,500. All things increase, population has increased as well, so it's harder to reach all of the electoral votes out there. So this any candidate looking to seek election.
Thank you, Mr. C. I appreciate that. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have anything to add or any comments on this?
Mr. CEO, does this have to be submitted by April 29th to the what you call it, to the government?
No, it's an internal document, but the bylaw must be in place 180 days prior to the election. So therefore, it has to be implemented by April 26th. Hence why we had first reading at a special meeting and giving third reading tonight to be able to meet those deadlines.
Yeah, because why I mention that, because I attended one of the workshops and they said they had to be in by April 29th. So we're on the program then. We're there. We're doing okay then. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, anything else from council? Seeing none, please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. 6.5 bylaw 6 2022 POA implementation, first reading. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Belanger.
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you.
As a result of passing bylaw 3-2022 regarding the fines, the POA needs to be modified accordingly. And I am just scrolling through the document, and as far as the fine goes, the assistant CEO and myself were debating as to the value or the severity of the fine, and we decided that a middle of the road type of fine would be appropriate, that being $430 for any offenses listed on the bylaw.
Okay.
And hopefully we never have to deal with it.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Council, open up for discussion. Anything to add or comment on?
Not here.
Please cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to 6.6 bylaw 6 2022 POA implementation, second reading. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Second.
Councillor Pelletier.
You.
Same song and dance, folks.
Thank you. Just waiting for that comment, Mr. CEO. Council, comments?
Not here.
Okay.
Cast your vote.
Same dance with different partner.
Yeah, so.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Perfect. 7.1.14165228130 Dumitrescu. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Second.
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you.
Therefore, be resolved that council approves subdivision file 4165-22-8130, subject to the following conditions: that a variation order is required to vary the minimum site area of the proposed agricultural lot from 80 acres to 21.2 in a agricultural limited zone, and 2, that the applicant shall pay the capital dedication fee of $5,220 for the newly created lot.
Okay, open up for council debate. Council, any comments or questions or anything on this?
Looks pretty straightforward.
No. Okay, cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. Moving on to 7.2.1 RSR wastewater co-op, pardon me, guarantee line of credit. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Mamchuk.
Councillor Belanger, second by Councillor Mamchuk. Thank you.
This resolution is in regards to our wastewater treatment facility project. We are trying to line up the financing for the project. We've reached out to Access Credit Union, and it appears that they will be the main sponsor regarding the financing on this project. As such, they are seeking that in order to have a little bit of a guarantee, they are requesting the municipalities support a guarantee in the event that RSR would fail or go belly up, based on our percentage, and our percentage is 14% of the project. Hopefully this is only a guarantee on paper that we'll never have to need, and that RSR will have this thing built within a couple of years and operational, and the whole thing will work like a charm.
Perfect. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have any comments or questions on this?
Well, I think this is definitely good news. With respect to having Access Credit Union, it's my understanding, were there other credit unions or other lending institutions involved in that selection?
I believe so. We sent out an RFP regarding trying to get quotations from them. Unfortunately, nobody really replied back, but Access did want to take the lead on this. They will definitely not be the only ones funding the project. It'd be a combination of other credit unions as well.
Oh, okay.
So there is that interest, but I believe Access will be the head folk that will be organizing the finance.
Okay. Thanks,
Mr.
CEO.
If I understand correctly, so 14% would be roughly 14 million, right? So that would be shared among X number of RMs, right? Including RM Rashad, of course.
That would represent only Rashad's share. Cache is, I believe, at 16. Niverville and Hanover are at the 5 and 36. And these are all based on consumption numbers that were provided a while ago.
Okay. Thank you for getting that clarified. Appreciate it. So 14% is the RM Rashad's share, in other words.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else from council?
Not here.
Okay, cast your vote.
Vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. 7.2.2 life cycle funding policy. Do I have a mover?
Councillor Clayton.
Thank you. Councillor Pelletier moves, second by Councillor Clayton.
Correct.
In her last attempts as our current recreational director, our Amber Mamchuk wanted to ensure that this life cycle policy would be adopted by council. This is a recommendation that was brought forward by the advisory committee and discussed with council in the past.
Perfect. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, do you have anything to add?
Not here.
No, as Mr. CEO suggested or mentioned, it was brought up with the rec advisory committee and gone over, and the policy looks good.
Perfect.
Great idea.
Absolutely. Okay, cast your vote.
Is carried 5-0.
Perfect. And Amber, I know that you're probably not watching this, but if you ever do in your time capsule here, we appreciate all the work you've done. And we look forward to your journey in life and recreation. So good luck. 7.2.3, March 2022 building permit reports. Do I have a mover?
Counselor Mamchuk,
Thank you. Second.
Councillor Belanger.
You.
So as of March, 13 permits were issued, total value of 2.3 with a building fee of 7,000. Trailing a little bit the permits that were in 2021 of 23, 3,010,000. Year to date, still lagging what was done in 2021. But it's my understanding that in April, things are looking pretty good right now, so we might do some catching up in April. But still not too terrible when it comes to building permits.
Yeah, I was going to comment. I've seen a few reports made on the media, and it looks like a lot of places are down significantly. But Red Shot to be down, it looks like 15-20%. That's really not that bad at all. It still looks like a healthy growth for us, so that's encouraging. Council, anything else? Cast your vote.
The vote is carried 5-0.
Thank you. I think that brings us to item 10, adjournment. Do I have a mover?
Counselor Mamchuk.
Councillor Mamchuk moves it, second by Councillor Clayton, third by Councillor Belanger, fourth by Councillor Pelletier. I will call for the question.
Vote is carried 5-0.
I'll close the meeting at 8:31 p.m. Councillor Pelletier, you better get home to that 20-year anniversary wife and get her some flowers for missing some time with her.
She'll be sleeping by the time I get home, so
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Please stop recording.